To-do list number one is to support the establishment of the American Center for Mobility at Willow Run. The Chamber's Mich Auto team, led by Glenn Stevens, worked tirelessly to support and keep the center a focus for the state. This past November, an official group and groundbreaking of this $80 million facility in Ypsilanti was held. Construction is very well underway, and the center should be open for business this year. And I think the governor announced yesterday that there's actually a virtual reality tour of that facility that's located downstairs if you're interested to go check it out in progress. But the good news didn't stop there. This past January, the U.S. Department of Transportation announced that the center was selected as one of 10 facilities to be designated as a federal proving ground for driverless vehicle testing and development. The center will play an integral role in positioning Michigan to lead the race for connected and automated vehicles development, which fits into the connectivity pillar of this year's conference. Support for the center will continue and be a key priority for our chamber. To-do list number two, item number two, was to help the state of Michigan develop and execute a protect and grow strategy for our defense assets. Just last year, the MEDC's Protect and Grow Strategic Plan was released at this conference. The Chamber is directly involved in supporting Michigan's Defense Center in the implementation of 17 recommendations. Tammy Carnwright, our COO, sits on the Protect and Grow Governance Board, as well as TACOM's Advisory Council, and provides key business voice in the plan and execution. The Chamber helped facilitate meetings between the leadership at TARDAC and Mich Auto to strengthen and promote a link between the defense and domestic automotive industries and to discuss further collaboration opportunities as it relates to next generation mobility. The Chamber is supporting efforts to bring the F-35 Lightning II, a fifth-generation fighter, to Selfridge Air National Guard Base, and partnered with Selfridge and KPMC to host 30 senior automotive executives for an airbase tour and flight. Working with Michigan's Defense Center, a meeting was coordinated by members of Michigan's congressional delegation and leadership of TACOM and TARDAC and the Michigan Department of Military Affairs to maximize Michigan's congressional delegation and their influence and support for military installations. Item number three, to advocate for a robust infrastructure investment in our basic utilities and assets. At the federal level, the Chamber advocated for Congress to reauthorize the Water Resources Development Act, which passed this past December. The act contained federal aid for the city of Flint in response to the city's well-publicized water crisis. Just a few months ago, members of the Great Lakes Metro Chambers Coalition coordinated a two-day legislative fly-in in Washington, D.C. Coalition members met with members of Congress and provided a list of needed infrastructure investments in the Midwest in hopes of federal infrastructure investment and programs. And lastly, the Governor Snyder's 21st Century Infrastructure Commission report was released last December. Our chamber will analyze this report and work to develop a plan to advocate for a bipartisan solution on implementation. And actually, our chamber's president and CEO, Sandy Barua, chaired this commission, which released its report yesterday here on the island. And you'll hear from him later today on how the commission plans to expand on the recommendations made by the Infrastructure Commission. Lastly, and very important to me in terms of our to-do list, is to support an economically inclusive Detroit, which the mayor spoke about quite eloquently yesterday, by promoting education access, options, and attainment, as well as to continue to promote financial literacy. Education access, we feel, is the key goal of our Detroit Promise. Administered by our chamber, the Detroit Promise is a collaborative effort by Governor Rick Snyder and Mayor Mike Duggan. The promise ensures that any Detroit resident student graduating from a high school in the city of Detroit will have a tuition-free path to college. Let that sink in for a minute. Every student that lives in the city of Detroit and graduates from any Detroit high school, whether private, public, or charter, has the opportunity to go to any one of 5 participating community colleges or 17 four-year universities tuition-free. As far as financial literacy, the Chamber continues to partner with various organizations to provide financial literacy empowerment and economic education to both youth and adults. In fact, after meeting here on the island last year, American Jewelry and Loan, Junior Achievement, Operation Hope, and Green Path Financial Wellness collaborated and started offering financial literacy workshops throughout the region. And this past September, the Chamber joined with other business leaders to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Quicken Loans Junior Achievement Financial Park. The results of this to-do list demonstrate the power that we all collectively share and the solutions that come directly out of this conference and contribute again to the state's growth. I'm looking forward to see what will be on the 2017 to-do list that Stephen will present this same time next year. Now let me switch gears for a little bit and welcome to the stage this year's conference chair, who will announce the 2018 Mackinac Policy Conference Chair. Please help me welcome President and Chief Executive Officer of Highgate, LLC, and the 2017 Mackinac Policy Conference Chair, and my good friend, Mr. Stephen Polk.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. It's really been a great conference so far, and I hope you've all enjoyed it as much as I have, and there's much more to come. Before we get the sessions rolling this morning, I have the honor of announcing the 2018 Mackinac Policy Conference Chair. That will be Ray DeLange. Ray? Thank you, Ray. Ray is the Greater Michigan Market Manager, Partner, and U.S. Automotive Practice Leader for PwC, and I'll have the pleasure of chairing this next year's event for us. Ray's been a longstanding, committed leader of the Detroit Regional Chamber. He's been on the Chamber's Board of Directors, serves on the Audit Committee, the Finance Committee, and the Executive Committee. His perspective on global and national economic trends will ensure that the conference continues to tackle the issues that are so critical to Michigan. I look forward to Ray's fresh approach on the conference next year. So, Ray, I want to assure you, you're very fortunate. You're going to be in good hands because the Chamber staff really does all the work. But you'll get plenty of good opportunity and pave the way to make a very enjoyable job for next year. So, congratulations, Ray.